Al Roney, 810 WGY. Roney, 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, Thursday. Hello. Going to be doing things a little different today. I'm not the host. Well, I'm sort of the host. I'm going to be the co-pilot or pilot as need be in case the plane starts spiraling wildly out of control and we need somebody to step in. I'll take over. But joining me today is Ed Deep of Video View Productions, based out of Waterford. And Ed is here today because he stepped up and contributed $1,000 to WGY Christmas Wish. That's it? That's all we've got? Can we get more than 4 people clapping? Come on. Ah, better. The big crowd. The big crowd. But we did a what was it, about a month ago, Ed? A little mini radiothon for WGY Christmas Wish, which is something we've done for a number of years here at WGY, and all the money goes to help out the neediest children in the capital region. Goes to a lot of great charities. A lot gets to the kids who really needs the money. And one of the things why we were doing this on the kind of the spur of the moment mini radiothon is I said, well, listen, if somebody comes up with $1,000, they get to do the show. And you were in quick.
Well, I can't take all that credit. I'll be honest with you. My brother Jeff had given me a call, and he was telling me about it. So, of course, right away I listened to it, and I said, great cause, great reason, absolutely.
So your brother heard it on the air, and he said, hey, Ed might want to get on board with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent. But I mean, I remember it was probably it only took about 10 minutes, and you guys were in pretty quick. So
well, my brother knows me quite well. So that's why he was very comfortable about calling. He pretty much knew that I would be on board with that, and he knows that I like to give to very positive organizations such as yours.
That was outstanding, and thanks so much for that, because that's it's awesome. We're doing well. It's wrapping up. I think tomorrow's going to be the last big push for it, so we hope to at least meet or exceed our goals, but you certainly, with your $1,000 contribution, helped us get there. Now, you were on the air with me about a week or so ago, too, right?
Yes.
Was it about 2 weeks ago?
A couple of weeks ago.
Couple of weeks ago. It's all a blur for me. Come on, it's the holidays, But you do another great. You're just a great guy. I don't even know you that well, but you're awesome, Ed. You're great. As part of with Video View Productions, and we'll get into what it is that you do in your regular life when you're not doing a fill-in talk show. And yeah, I will let you speak eventually. Don't worry, this is the same problem I have with my wife and other people. Is he going to shut up and let me say something?
No, you're doing fine.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks for the vote of confidence. But we talked on the air about this thing that you do for the military men and women, and you allow people to come in and you shoot video, family, friends, relatives, that kind of thing, and then you edit the video and post it up on the internet, so somebody who's in the military who isn't coming home for the holidays or just can't be there, wants to get a message from somebody, they're able to access it via the internet and see a video of their relatives or friends.
That's correct. And the other real nice thing and very unique about this is it's not just a general posting, which is also nice, but this is a private URL. So that way they can be very private about what they want to say to their loved ones. All we do is give them the URL at that point, which is like a internet phone number, basically. Mm-hmm. And once a troop member types in that URL, that video plays directly off of our server.
So it's not like one of these things like YouTube where everybody's going to be able to go on and look at. Just the person that you want the message to get to is going to have access to it.
That's correct.
That makes a lot of sense. And the one thing when we were talking about that, I saw over the news in the time that we discussed this on the air. And how did that go, by the way? Did you get a good turnout for that?
Very good. Very good. We were very fortunate. Beautiful turnout. The weather did put a little bit of a damper on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I know that some people did want to come in. We had people coming in from over an hour and 15 hour and 20 minutes away, having a little bit of a difficult time with some of the conditions. And we've gotten several calls during the week that people felt bad that they weren't able to make it, even though we did have it the two Saturdays at Siena College. But I want to announce that I want to extend that for the people that were not able to make it. We're going to have another opportunity for people to come in this Saturday at our own studios at A Video View Production at 122 Saratoga Avenue, and anytime between 1 and 5 o'clock, and we'll have cookies and coffee too for them.
Okay, so Saturday, day after tomorrow.
Yes.
You're going to open it up again 1 to 5 at Video View Productions, your shop in Waterford. So people who missed the chance or missed the opportunity to do it those last 2 Saturdays. I also saw that you got a bit of a write-up in the newspaper too. The Times-Union had an article about it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that?
Oh.
Oh yeah, it was in there too. They must have they put something out about it too. So don't you remember talking to the newspaper head?
Yeah, I talked to several of them, but I didn't know that was going to be in.
Nope, I did see it. I picked up on that. So you're giving people another crack at it in case they missed out the first couple of times.
Yes.
Now you also do this throughout the year, though, don't you?
Absolutely, all year long. Anytime people could give a call. They're welcome to come in. We'll set up an appointment for them to come in. The difference between all year long and now is because it's so close to Christmas, we try to establish specific times for people to come in, such as, at Siena College we had from 1 to 5 the previous Saturdays, and this Saturday will be from 1 to 5 at our studio. It's too difficult for people to come in during the middle of the week without appointment. That's why we like to set this up in this manner. It makes things go much smoother. But the rest of the year, it could be almost any day they can come in, morning, afternoon, evening, just once again set up an appointment. And I want to make sure people understand it's totally free. We don't take contributions or donations. It is totally free. This is our gift to the families and friends of our troop members.
That is awesome. That is great stuff. One thing that I saw over the last couple of weeks too was a news report about some people who wanted to send either packages or letters to anonymous troops or anonymous military members, and those cards and letters aren't getting there because they're afraid that they might be tampered with or tainted with white powder or something like that. At least with something like this, you don't have to worry about anything getting lost in the mail.
Exactly.
Getting screened or, getting tied up or held up somewhere, that the person, all they got to do is get the access to the computer, click on it, bam, they get the message.
Right. Also, there's also another opportunity people have, and all year long we do get tapes from all over the country, and we tell people they're welcome to even bring in tapes. And why this is so times people have grandparents that might be in an adult home or in a hospital where they can't come into our studio. So they're welcome to go to where they are, videotape them. And what I'm also suggesting to people, if they wish to do this, is even Christmas morning. Videotape their Christmas morning, showing the packages and showing the Christmas music, showing the people together enjoying themselves, and videotape that. Bring that into us, and we'll go ahead and post that for that person.
Oh, so you'll take it off the video camera or whatever, digital or whatever,
right,
and transfer it and get it on the internet that way too.
Exactly.
Excellent.
So they can bring in, whether it's on VHS or 8mm video, it doesn't really matter. We can take nearly any format.
Now, how long have you been doing this for, as far as helping out the troops? I know at Video View Productions, you've probably been, we'll get to how long you've been doing that and what exactly other stuff that you guys do, but how long have you been doing that thing for the troops and their families?
This is our 4th year. I was hoping that we weren't going to be going beyond the first couple of years.
Yeah, right?
But as it's needed, it's needed, and we'll hopefully be there as long as it's needed.
I wish I knew that you guys were doing that before, honestly, so I would have tried to help get the word out too, because I didn't even realize that there was something available like that until we started talking and exchanging emails, and you ponied up the big $1,000 for a WGY Christmas wish. So I didn't know. Listen, I want to find out more about you. I want to find out more about Video View Productions. I know maybe you've got some things, because this is your time, Ed. I want you to take advantage of it, use it to the best that you can, and we'll go from there. We may be breaking off around 10:30 or so for President Bush. I'm not sure. We're going to see how that goes, because there's a news conference scheduled. Sometimes these things are, there's something in there. Sometimes there's not. It's hard to tell, right? You know, you don't know if you're just going to get a little nothing or maybe a bit of something. So we'll see about that. We're talking with Ed Deep from Video View Productions. He is the WGY Christmas Wish donor of $1,000. Got my show for today. So we'll take a quick break here. Be right back. I'm Al Roney, 810 WGY. All right. Ed Deep with a Video View Production. We're getting into a little off-air conversation, and I think our mindset is very... we're thinking along the same lines, because I was talking to you, Ed, about being in the military before. I was 4 years active duty, 4 years reserves, from 85 to 93. And I just remember being away and going through training during Thanksgiving and how difficult that was to, you know, man, home away from the holidays. I was a kid, though, couldn't wait to get away from home. You know, part of getting in the Army was so I didn't have to live with Mom and Dad anymore and deal with their rules. So I took, went to a place with even tougher rules and standards. So I don't know how much sense that made. But it's amazing how you don't realize until you're away from home, until you're away from friends, until you're away from family, how much they mean to you. You just, it's one of those things I think we take for granted that, oh, they're going to be there tomorrow. They're going to be there the next day. And it really hit home for me when I was in training, and it was Thanksgiving Day. And it was like, man, this is the first Thanksgiving. It was, for me, the first Thanksgiving that I hadn't had the sit-down turkey dinner with the relatives. You know, mom, dad, sisters, aunts, uncles. First one in my entire life. And while the Army did a great job, and they do when it comes to holidays, is rolling out these incredible spreads. I mean, this thing about Army food being bad, it's not true. When you get the meals, they're pretty good. They're good meals, except, of course, when you're out in the field and you're getting MREs, which are like, what is this stuff? But it was a great meal. They had, you know, shrimp, the turkey, the cranberry sauce, everything, but it wasn't home. It wasn't home. So what you guys are doing with these videos and linking people through video and audio and being able to see those faces, man, I wish I had that kind of thing available to me, even in my short time in the military.
Well, it's very difficult for the people in the military, but once again, it's very difficult for the families. You got to remember, they're sitting around the Thanksgiving dinner or the turkey dinner, and their loved one isn't there. So it's also very difficult for them. And this is the side that I believe a lot of people just, many times they forget about the fact that the families are going through a very difficult time. Mm-hmm. The troop member is going through a very difficult time also. We remember them, and we understand that, and our hearts go out to them. And we're hoping that with this little program we have going, that we make it a little bit easier. We let the people know whether or not they come in to even have a video made. Even if they sit home and say, gee, I wish I went in there, but at least they know that there are people out there that remember the plight of the family member themselves and what they're going through. And I think that's very important.
Well, I can tell you about, I can certainly speak of the audience of this show, the listeners to this show. That was made crystal clear with when we had Joy Northrup, the military mom, come on and talk about her story and some of the times that she went through, losing house, job, being homeless for a while, and her son had served 3 tours of duty, just finishing up another 16 months in Iraq. And the response to her talking about that from people listening to WGY and this show in particular was just overwhelming, because they got that. It wasn't just about the soldier, yes, supporting the soldier, but the families that are behind who haven't seen their loved ones for so many months, haven't had the contact with them. And you're right. You know, I was speaking from my experience as being in the uniform and missing mom and dad and missing family and friends and that kind of thing. But I wasn't really thinking, I guess, as much as about, well, maybe they're missing me too, and how it would be giving them the opportunity to send a message that, you know, that might get lost in writing a letter or an email, which is they're nice. I mean, hey, letters from home were great. I mean, that was one of the things. I remember mail call. I mean, there's 3 things. I think there's 2 main things that soldier, airman, naval person, Marine, anybody that gets them through tough days, long days, especially in Iraq, Afghanistan, and places like that. Mail call and meals. That's it. I mean, those are the highlights of the day. Did I get any mail? And when's chow? It really, it's amazing how the other stuff
goes to the basics, doesn't it?
it really does. It's just amazing how everything else really isn't that important. You know, you get a letter, you get a message from back home, and you get a good hot meal, and you get through the day. So, one thing I like about what we were saying before, and I know you were like, Al, I do not want to get political. I don't. And I've always looked at the whole thing that's going on overseas, Iraq, Afghanistan, from a soldier's perspective. That's the perspective that I've taken from it. And I separate that from whether you think what we're doing over there is right, wrong, indifferent. Doesn't matter to me.
And it doesn't matter to the families. What matters to them is that their loved ones stay safe.
Yes.
And they come home.
Yep.
That's what's important.
And they know that there's somebody there supporting them.
That's right.
And I think that's a very, I have difficulty believing that we couldn't universally get on board that bus. Nobody would not understand that concept. I mean, if somebody would say, no, we're not, let them do whatever, the soldiers are bad. I just can't think, I can't think of those terms because it's a little too close to home. One being because, well, listen, I'm ex-military. I'm proud of what I did. If I had to do it over again, I would do it over again. I have no regrets about it. I was lucky. I didn't have to go fight or get shot, Didn't have to. Could have, but didn't have to. Lucky. Right place at the right time. But that's just the way I've always thought about it, that regardless of what the politicians or anybody says who goes over there, I want to hear from the troops on the ground. I listen to what they have to say first before I listen to anything else. They know the deal.
Absolutely.
That's as political as you're going to get, right, Ed?
That's it.
All right. Well, listen, thanks. I appreciate you being here. You're going to stick around. We got some more things to cover. Ed Deep of Video View Productions. Be back after the news. I'm Al Roney, 810 WGY. Oh, wow. We are terrible hosts. Yeah, thanks for the $1,000 contribution to WGY Christmas Wish. Come on in and co-host the show, Ed, owner of Video View Productions. Oh, you need something to drink? Cup of coffee, perhaps? Here, we'll bring you down to the kitchen. Of course, we're in our multi-million-dollar facility, high-tech, computer monitors everywhere, fancy microphones, 50,000 watts of power, and no coffee cup.
Well, I could have brought my own, Al.
Yeah, I guess if I was exchanging emails with you, I guess I should have fired that off to you and said, all right, Ed, bring some things to talk about. Here are the directions. And, oh, by the way, you'll need a coffee cup because we don't have any. I am so sorry for that. Yeah, I've got mine, but I guess I wasn't thinking. Oh, man, I'm a terrible host. I apologize for that. Ed, you know what time it is before we get to other things? We have to check our WGY straw poll. Now, this is for entertainment purposes. It's not scientific. And you can vote as often as you like. We're not concerned about Florida. We're not concerned about hanging chads. Cheating is okay. Mm-hmm. We don't care. It's for fun. But we have candidates in every category, Democrats, Republicans, and write-in. Your name is not on this list, Ed. I'm sorry about that. We could have put you on there. But let's take a look at the Democrats. Who do you think out of Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, John Edwards, Mike Gravel, Mike Gravel, Dennis Kucinich, and Barack Obama? Who do you think's leading the pack?
Probably Hillary.
You think so?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Who do I want to vote for? Yeah, 60%.
It's funny now. My father had said about 2 years ago, he said, watch for John Edwards.
Really?
Yep.
Well, John Edwards in our poll, 1.4%. Is he all right? Yeah, he's all right. So, Hillary's crushing the competition. We'll eliminate the lowest vote getter on Monday, and we'll be down to 5 in each category. All right, let's go over to the Republicans. I'm not going to ask you, unless you want me to, who you want to vote for. It's up to you. Let's see. We've got Rudy Giuliani, Mike Huckabee, John McCain, Ron Paul, Mitt Romney, and Fred Thompson. Who do you think's leading the pack there?
Giuliani.
Giuliani. All right, let's see what he's got. No. Ron Paul, 27%.
Really?
Fred Thompson, 22%. John McCain, 19%. Mike Huckabee, 16%. Giuliani, just 6%. So go figure that one out. That one's pretty close.
Well, you did say that people can cheat on this, right?
Did I? So perhaps the candidate who's leading the polls in each one
Are being supported by cheaters?
I'm not. You said it. That's Ed. That's Ed
No,
D,
I'm only teasing.
owner. And no, it's okay. Don't be afraid, Ed. We have no fear here. No safety net. A video review production owner and operator, Ed Deet, just says that the winners are supported by cheaters. I just want that on the record.
Oh, please.
All right, so that one's close, but it looks like right now, if you're a Romney or Giuliani supporter, one of those guys is done come Sunday. Unless they start getting some more support there, they're the ones, because we just eliminate the bottom vote getter, and then we move on. All right, let's go to the write-in, which is always exciting, mainly because I'm there. Lou Dobbs, Stephen Colbert, Colin Powell, Newt Gingrich, Bill Gates, and moi. Who do you think's winning there?
Lou Dobbs.
Thanks for the vote of support, Ed. Appreciate that. Going with Lou Dobbs, even though he's talking to local talk show host Al Roney on his show, still goes with Lou Dobbs. Thank you.
Didn't I say Lou Dobbs would come in second?
I don't know. You're changing your vote. Sorry. Lou Dobbs has, Ed, he has 0.89% of the vote.
Well, I'm not going with the winners now, am I?
Guess who's in the lead? I'll give you the... I am, Ed.
Are you really?
I'm winning.
Well, wait.
Yeah.
You said, though, people can vote as many times
That's
as they
correct,
want, right?
but that's okay.
I was wondering what you were doing in there, the other.
Yeah, no.
other room?
I'm not cheating for myself. In fact, I cast a vote just now
Did you?
for Lou Dobbs. I did. I threw a vote down for him because I got to vote. You got to vote for somebody to see what the results are. So, let's see. Roney, 50%. Bill Gates, 33% of the vote. A lot of Microsoft fans.
They want to keep their computers going.
Do you use that a lot in your shop? Microsoft stuff?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? So they own you too, huh?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, not a fan of Microsoft either.
Well,
Slamming.
as long as it's working, it's wonderful.
Everything is better when it works, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? I'm sure you're watching the technology. You're dealing with the technology. What kind of things do you think? And this is, of course, something you're totally unprepared to answer.
What's that?
That I didn't review with you in advance. But what do you see because of the development in this technology when it comes to video, audio production, that kind of thing? I mean, if you told me 25 years ago that I would be able to carry around a device the size of a camera and actually shoot quality footage out of that, I probably would have said, you're out of your mind. But what do you see in 10, 20 years in the stuff that you're doing right now?
Well, like you say, it's very hard to say what's going to happen. But I could see where eventually we're going to have displays that are going to be flexible displays. Right now, we've got all fixed display units. You pull out your cell phone, it's a fixed display. But I could see where we're going to have them where it might be on paper, on plastic. The integrated circuitry will be built right into it to where we're not going to be committed to having always on a flat surface base. Perhaps it might be the idea of hard drives is going to be, thank goodness, a nightmare that has gone away. That's right now, as far as what we're concerned with in video production, is one of the weakest links is the hard drives because they're so mechanical. They take so much so-called abuse during editing and pouring video in. Hopefully we'll get rid of the hard drive. We're going to have all solid state. It'll be much faster. I can just see the development, of course, shrinking overall instead of having our big laptop, or not only the laptop, but the desktop units. Hopefully we'll get them down to the size of a wristwatch.
Really?
Well,
It's possible. I mean,
it's possible.
I don't see the amazing thing is I think with I was a big sci-fi geek, you know when I was a kid and stuff like that, and they always rolled out these books of what the future is going to be like, hover cars, and we were going to be, we have individual flight suits or something like that. But I never, and all of these things, you never had a true solid prediction about where we would be with personal computing. I don't think there was a lot of science that really saw that everybody was going to be literally walking around with a computer in their pocket. And cell phones are going in that direction. Video, audio, I mean, everything. This was something I don't think we really knew was going to blow up the way it did.
Well, once they find a way to get rid of the bulky items, and the bulky items being power supplies, and power supplies have to be big to run the hard drives. Once we get rid of all that, we're going to be able to diminish the size rapidly. Mm-hmm. And I can see how this can come about over the next 10, 15 years anyway.
Now, how long have you been doing this type of work, video production?
Since 1981.
1981. Yeah, so you've seen quite
big developments.
But even just 10 years ago, they didn't have like the digital. It was just coming in a little bit more, though, the digital editing where you could do it on a computer and not even have to deal with tape at all.
Right.
That had to make your life easier.
Oh, it not only made it easier, but it allowed us to be a lot more creative. What we can get done now in editing, many times we have people coming in and they say, well, what can you do with this tape? We can take that tape, ingest it into our computer systems. It might be even a family video. It might be a friend shot their wedding, and they say, well, what can we do with it? Of course, we take a look at it, and many times the exposure is way off, the color is off. We can, through the technology of our computers, we're able to bring the color values where they should be, the lighting values. We can cut the pieces up so that they look a lot better, edit it down to a more manageable viewing product, add some background music, enhance the sounds that they had, add the titles and graphics, and before you know it, we have a nice little production for them.
So if I've got my old videotape, my archaic VHS tape from 1986 that I shot some family get-together or something like that, and that thing is, and tape, of course, doesn't have quite the shelf life either. I mean, it doesn't. If you've got some old video or something like that, isn't it just basically rotting or decaying, or how long can it?
Well, we've had quite a few people come in where the tapes have broken, and sometimes it's the fact that the tapes themselves are getting old, and in many times it's their machines are getting old. In any case, once a tape breaks, it does have to be repaired. We can repair them, but we don't guarantee that repair is going to hold up indefinitely, of course. So we strongly recommend to get that then converted over to a DVD. Mm-hmm. Which is one of the services we do. One of the most fragile formats that was ever developed is the 8mm video format. It was a small cassette.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
And
I bought one of those.
They break down extremely rapidly, and we've had a tremendous number of people calling in with failures. I've had several failures of my own because we did a lot of our own family videos on the 8mm because it was touted to be a very good format. Unfortunately, it's not very robust. So after playing it a few times, it will have a tendency of hanging up, tangling, and breaking. So we strongly recommend to people who have any of the videos that they want to maintain on the 8mm format, get those converted over. They just have a very short shelf.
Yeah, let me take a break here. We're going a little long, but yeah, I want to get back into some more of that because I don't think I think there's probably a lot of people, including myself, who don't even realize, hey, what do I do with these tapes? You know, I mean, and plus, where am I going to play them in about 10 years?
Exactly.
I mean, how am I going to watch the thing if my camcorder doesn't work anymore either? So, take a break here. We're talking to Ed Dietz. He is the co-host today, The Al Roney Show. He's with a Video View Productions, owner and operator extraordinaire. Be right back. I'm Al Roney, 810 WGY. All right, we're back, and we're still washing Ed Dietz's coffee cup. Millions of dollars of technology, 50,000 watts, in search of a coffee cup. I'm sorry, I dropped the ball on that. Ed Dietz with a Video View Productions. He is the co-host today because he gave a generous contribution to WGY Christmas Wish when we did our mini radiothon last month or so, and you got in quick. I mean, bam, right there, brother calls you, you're like, I'm in, I'm there. But you guys do some real, I think something, I don't know if a lot of people even realize that can be done or is out there, especially those of us, including especially new parents, because my video recording output decreases as the kids get older. I think when you have a baby, you're shooting video 24/7. I almost had the cam strapped to my shoulder. I was in the whole thing, the hospital.
We see this all the time. People come in, they have 4 or 5 children, and they want to do a video presentation, which hopefully we'll talk about that in a bit. And of course, they'll come in with some photographs. Well, there's no problem coming in with the photographs of the first kid that was.
You mean photographs?
Photographs,
like real,
right?
You know,
yep.
That you got to hold in your hand.
Yep.
Those things.
And of course, they'll say, "Well, we got no problem with child number 1. Even child number 2, not too bad. But as far as child number 6, well, we have 2 photographs: one when they're born and one when they graduated."
We don't have a lot of proof that they actually had a life. But it's true though. You're a dad, right?
Oh yes.
How many kids?
I have 2 children. It's April, and she's married. She just got married back in 2003. And Matthew, and he just graduated Oneonta.
Oh, outstanding.
Yeah.
So I mean, and actually, I want to talk about we'll get to your son a little later, because he had some interesting experiences with some pretty high-profile people.
Oh yeah.
That he worked alongside with. So we'll definitely hit that a little later on. So you have these people come in with their photographs, and kid number 4, is looking a little left out in this video production.
Pretty much, yes, unfortunately.
But you can take regular photos and make something of that.
Oh, yes. What we do, we have photo presentations that we make for people. It's photo video presentations. And they'll come in with, these are absolutely fantastic for people who want to highlight, say, for a family, for a mother, a father, a holiday. They'll come in with photographs, and what we do is we put those photos to music along with clips, say, from a videotape or some old movie films, and we create a presentation. And it's not just a slideshow. Many times we'll have people say, "Well, we put together a PowerPoint presentation." This could not be farther from
that's really exciting. Let's sit down and look at the PowerPoint presentation of your life.
We use all motion graphics. It's a very powerful programming that we use, that we can actually scan across the photographs. We use a pixel density. We utilize a pixel density program, which means when we scan extremely high, we can get down onto the photograph, any part we want. So if there's people sitting around a table, say a turkey dinner, we can zoom in on a specific part of that photograph, move it around, tell it.
Or if there's a relative that perhaps is no longer in the family that you just can't stand and don't want them in the video,
you can get them out.
You can edit them right. You can scan away right from that. Oh yeah, remember? Oh, it was terrible. I knew she should have never married him. One of those, and just bam, no longer in there.
So there's a lot of things that we can do, and we meld this together with clips from video, and with that we incorporate a lot of special effects, whether it's the slow-mo and soft focusing and music in the background, and all types of enhancement that really brings these programs together. It's absolutely phenomenal.
So just about anything that I can have, whether it's videotape, whether it's pictures, anything that I can bring into you, or the newer formats, digital stuff, you can work with all of that and give me back something on a DVD that I can throw into any player and have it right there.
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, but the old movie films. I don't know. Do you remember the old movie films, Al?
I know film, yes.
Okay, these were the little
the 16 millimeter stuff,
8 millimeter,
8 millimeter. Oh yeah.
And we can actually take them. We have a process that we're able to do a lot of restoration work, and we use a special transfer process called an aerial lens technology. And with that, it goes directly into our computer system, and from there we're able to do the regeneration of the process and then create a DVD from it.
That is cool. Now, here's what I remember with my parents, because you always went somewhere and they broke out the slides. The slides. They'd have these slides, and if your projector broke, you're sitting there looking at these things, holding them up to the light, and trying to figure out, oh yeah, there's Aunt Gladys. I can see her. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Can I use slides? Do you do anything with those?
Oh, yes, we have special slide scanners that we, and it's a slow process, but the results are absolutely stellar. So we're able to scan the slides, enhance the slides, color correct. The slides, unfortunately, have the same problem as film, and that is because they're a dye emulsion, they go through an aging process, and you're going to find that the reds turn towards magenta and the greens turn towards blue, and the overall opacity seems to get very translucent.
Opacity. Nicely done, Ed.
Well, we're able to restore.
I'm impressed by those terms. I'm easily amused, too.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to throw you off your game.
No, that's okay.
So you can correct that.
Yes.
You can take care of that too. Excellent stuff. All right, listen. What else are we gonna do here? We're gonna talk about a few more things with you, especially your kids, especially your son Matt, who's had some experiences with some high-profile celebs. I guess you could say they're celebrities, right? And we'll talk about some other things that you do at A Video View Productions. Ed Dietz, the co-host for today, the Al Roney Show. I'm Al Roney, 810 WGY. All right, hour 2, Al Roney Show. Thanks for being here. Talking with Ed Dietz. He is the co-host today and owner-operator of a Video View production in Waterford, hometown. Have you lived here all your life, Ed?
Well, I grew up in Mechanicville.
Oh, well, so close enough, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so yes, definitely yes. And you do a lot of different things there. You do presentations for companies, organizations, individuals, photos, slides, video films. You can take anything, pretty much any media and create it into a nice package for individual, company, whoever.
Yes. We do a lot of transfer work, a lot of editing work. A lot of times people have, as we spoke before, videotapes. We break them down to the point where we can make it very manageable for people to watch. One of the more interesting ones was we had this actor come in. His name was John Flynn. He still lives in the area. And people have seen him on TV. They just didn't know him by name. And he was...
one of those guys you're like, what's his name?
Yes. Yep.
I've seen him before.
Yeah, and he was one of the local commercials that he did. He did several of them. But one of the local commercials he had done was the old man in the Midas commercial, driving the old jalopy. And they got tired of watching him come in because he had the lifetime guarantee. And they said, oh, no, here comes Mr. whatever his name was at the time. And he came in with his grandson and his jalopy. Well, that was John Flynn. He also played in several television programs and movies. He played in Sliders. He played in Rocky. And
let me hold you on for a second because we got a phone call, Ed.
Oh,
and it's your talk show.
Oh,
and somebody
sure.
has a question for you.
Absolutely.
Do you want to take some calls?
Absolutely.
Anybody have any questions about video? Or what you do, or anything under the sun. So let's get that one in there. Sherry from Schoharie County. Hi, Sherry. Or is it Cherie?
Cherie.
Oh, all right, Cherie.
But that's okay.
I like Cherie better anyway.
Me too.
Well, you should because it's your name.
Yes, thank you.
It's good to be comfortable with your name.
Yes. My question is, some years ago, my brother, audio, reel-to-reel, recorded a little Christmas story that he wrote for his children and family, and it's a beautiful story. But anyway, of course, that the reel-to-reel machine doesn't work anymore. And do you have the capability of taking that and transferring that either to a cassette or a CD?
Yes, we do. And
oh, you do?
As a matter of fact, we not only do a transfer, but we do enhancement. We just finished doing a whole slew of archival reel-to-reel tapes that were done by Mr. Joe Riley, the president of New York State Broadcasters. And he had come in and he had done interviews back in 1959 and 1960 when he first started in college and to broadcast. And he had these people come in that we now know as Jimmy Dean, Connie Francis, Mel Torme, a whole slew of people he had done.
These were radio interviews, and he had them on reel-to-reel?
Reel-to-reel.
Okay.
So we did the enhancement, and we created entire DVD sets of these, which eventually Mr. Riley had explained to me he would like to. Well, he's already started creating a show around this, but he wants to eventually share these with other radio stations across the country. So we do this at a very high level. You would be very, very pleased.
Oh, all right. Now I guess I need some information on how to find you, or have you given that out already?
We'll do that right now. Ed, why don't you tell her what she needs to know?
Yes, you can call our office at 235-8616. The area code, of course, is 518.
8616.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you can find us on the website at www.videoviewproductions.com. I know it's
View Production.
Yes, all one word, all lowercase, and
in the phone book, it's A Video View Production.
Yes,
okay.
And that we just do that to keep things confusing.
Oh, that's the best news I've heard in a long time.
I don't think, is there any, we brought up a lot of different examples, Cherie, and Ed hasn't said no to any of them. I said slides, can you do cave drawings? Can you transfer those onto a DVD? Because my ancestors used to draw little pictograms on the caves, and I would like to get those transferred. Is there anything that you can't do?
We do have a pictograph department, so you have to talk to them.
So Cherie, they can hook you up.
Oh, thank you so much. I enjoy your show, and today is different, very enlightening.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you.
So, hey, if anybody's got a question for Ed, 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY cell phone. The guy is, I'm kind of a quasi audiophile, with audio, music, and that kind of thing, but not even near to the level of what you do or what some other people in the music industry, just kind of a hobby kind of thing, sound and video and that kind of stuff. I dabble in it, but I don't. With the technology, do you just just salivate when you see something new coming out where it's going to make your job easier and you're going to be able to do some of the things like Cherie's talking about and just go, oh man, this is great stuff?
Well, we're always investing in new hardware and software and keeping our ear to the rail and hope like heck the train doesn't run over our head financially. But we do this to try to keep on the cutting edge. Unfortunately, sometimes it is the bleeding edge. But that's what you have to do to keep abreast of things, to try to keep up with the technology, be able to give people back the best product possible.
Now we'll get back to your story about the actor. We will.
Okay.
We will. Don't worry. I mean, sometimes I do this all the time. I start talking about something, then I forget. I go on to something else. That's one of my. It may be a blessing or a curse. I haven't decided what. But in that same vein, you've been doing this since 1981, right?
That's correct.
That's what you said. 1981 to 2007. When you look, how is what you do in video production, editing, packaging? The changes.
Radical, absolutely radical. You cannot believe it. In 1981, we went out with cameras that were the size of a small monitor today. Actually, a CRT monitor. They were big cameras. We had side packs, which were the recorder. Of course, there was a cable that ran between the camera and the recorder, and you can imagine these devices, how much power they took. They were power hungry, so that meant we had to carry around a slew of batteries. Of course, we didn't have NiCads back then. They were all lead acid, which are nice and heavy for the power output. So we were burdened with about 35, 40 pounds of items.
You're like an Apollo astronaut going out there.
Pretty much. We had everything but a satellite dish attached to it.
I always remember, that's funny, I always remember the Al Franken skits on Saturday Night Live when he's out in the field with the dish on his head.
Exactly.
That was hilarious. Al Franken, politics, I don't care. That stuff was funny. That was hilarious. And then it would get, he'd start getting shelled or something like that. You would lose the picture. I gotta go, Dennis. And he'd have I've got the 5,000 auto pack and good stuff.
Oh, this stuff drew.
But it was like that.
Oh yes, and this stuff drew a lot of power. So much so that the battery pack that I had strapped to myself one day, unfortunately, one of the connectors started going. I didn't realize it because, of course, you're so preoccupied shooting. I'm looking through this little black and white viewfinder. I see smoke. I thought it was a person smoking in front of me sitting at a table. Come to find out, it was me.
You're on fire.
I was on fire. One of the connectors had failed. That was up against my tie, and my tie started smoldering. And I just couldn't figure out why it was smelling like plastic and leather. Well, it was the leather and, of course, the coat. So, of course, I put my equipment down rather quickly and tried to pat myself out and not make it look too obvious that I was on fire to the rest of the people. But
now, size obviously being a huge thing. The technology has shrunk so much and made it more portable and convenient. Time-wise, time has to be something that's also made your life a lot easier, from the old splicing of tape to now being able to do it on a computer and that.
Well, when we were shooting on videotape, we had to do machine to machine. That was the only way to do editing. And of course, there was always generation loss, which we had to always address. So
every dub, so the dub you're making, the copying process, you're losing some of the fidelity and the audio quality from that original tape.
Oh, we would lose quite a bit, yes. And there was nothing we can do with it except keep our cables short, keep the best connections we could, try to maintain as high a signal as we possibly could to try to mitigate our losses. But today we don't have those issues. We take it for granted what we have today because everything is just swinging around digital information. There is no such thing as an analog signal at this point. It's just transferring ones and zeros, and so there's no noise pattern that we.
All right, let me hold you there because I want to get a call in before we have to take another break, and I don't want to leave her waiting. It's Minnie in Berlin. Hi, Minnie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I have a question about the 8mm movie film. Does he do anything with that?
Yes, we do.
See, look at there's. I mean, come on. He does pictograms from caveman times. He can do anything.
That was why I called. I heard you say something similar to that.
Well, yeah, we do a lot of 8mm and 16mm film transfers, but we do it radically different than most. We use a special technology called an aerial lens technology. We don't shoot it against the wall and pick it up with the camera as such. What we do is it's actually produced in the air. It has this large lens, and people are welcome to come in and see how we do this. And it produces an image in the air, and this way we're able to pick it up so-called dead on. We're not shooting from an angle. It's picked up with a digital camera that's interfaced with our computer system. And this way, what it allows us to do is to transfer that information directly to digital in our computer system. From there, we can manipulate the image to try to enhance it, make it look better, improve the colors, shift the colors where they belong, and improve the brightness, the contrast, and we use all vector scopes and waveform monitors. We show people how we use this, and they can actually see this occurring all in real time right on our screen.
So not only can you do something with it, you can make it look better than the original copy that they have.
Oh, absolutely.
What about the quality of the film that I have? It hadn't been stored in any special way. A couple of them are in cans, but a lot of them were just loose in a plastic bag of all things. Do you think that probably they're too brittle to do anything with?
Well, one way you could tell if there's a deterioration of your film is to use your nose, believe it or not. If you smell any signs of vinegar, that's the first indication that you have some severe deterioration occurring. And at that point, you want to make sure that you get them transferred as quickly as possible because it happens rapidly.
Okay.
So smell your film, Minnie. Smell it.
But we've also had some film that have been that goes back to the 20s that was relatively good shape, and then again we've had some film that was in the 80s that was terrible shape. And one of the reasons is to give you a little bit of history on it. All
right, wait. You know what? I'm going to have to hold you.
Okay.
We're at a break here.
Well, look, I'm not going to hold, but I do have his information. I wrote it down from the previous caller. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Minnie. And in a nutshell, he can hook you up. He can take care of you. Ed Deet with a Video View production, and we'll get back to the story, your connection with George Lucas, because, come on, king of the geeks. You know, we mentioned Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, another uber geek, George Lucas. And I say that lovingly because I am a mini geek, too, just without the talent and ability of Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and probably Ed Deet. So there you go. We'll take a break here. We'll be back with Ed Deet with a Video View production. I'm Al Rooney, 810 WGY. All right, Ed has just admitted to me off the air that he is an uber geek, too. No shame in that. I don't think there is. How can you not if you're into video editing and the things that you've devoted your life to? What got you into it in the first place, though? Where did you decide, hey, you know what, video, editing, filming, taping, I want to do that?
Well, electronics, first of all, was a love I had all my life. And I got into photography early on. And before you know it, video came into being, and that was a perfect marriage of the two. So it was a natural evolution for me.
Yeah. So throughout, even as a kid, this is something that you thought you might be going towards?
Oh, electronics I loved as I was 5 years old. As a matter of fact, I think it was around 5 years old I stuck my finger in a light socket just to see what would happen.
You were one of those kids who actually did that?
Oh, yes.
Get Ed to do it. He'll do anything.
I'd stick a screwdriver in a socket to see it spark. I love to see these things.
That is great. So now it's a Video View production. That's your company. That's you own it, right?
That's correct.
So you're a small businessman in upstate New York, and business is going well?
Fortunately, excellent. Thank you.
Okay. I mean,
Yep.
that's one of the. Well, how tough is it to? Is it tough to be? One of the things you always think you hear. Wow, when you run your own place, when it's yours, when it's your business. I mean, you don't have a boss. You're the boss. Is it all it's cracked up to be?
Well, as long as you don't mind working the 15 or 16 hours a day, yes, it's
So, because you're not going to punch in and punch out. It's 24/7.
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, yesterday, just to try to keep up with the workload, because this time of year is
Busy.
really our season. I had my breakfast, lunch, and supper while I'm editing.
Yeah.
And I didn't finish till, I think it was Conan went off.
Conan. The Schwarzenegger one or the other one?
The
funny
show,
one.
Late show host.
Okay. How many people are work at the video view production?
Well, my wife helps and myself. My son does help me from time to time as the workload gets heavy. He's been doing a lot of background work for me. And so that's a great help. And my wife, thank God,
So wait a minute. You are a shop of one, basically, except for the rest of your family?
pretty much.
That's it. You are a video view production.
People come in to see what we do. They are going to be talking to me.
That's cool, though. That is good, and things are going well. And you've been here since '81.
Since 1981.
Did you open up your own place right out of the starting gate, or did you start somewhere else?
We have a studio right at our own residence, and that's where we've been operating. It's a beautiful studio, filled with all kinds of gadgetry. And as a matter of fact, we just got it rebuilt last year, so it's really state of the art.
So you're in your home, your business is it's all melded together.
That's correct. And like I said, my wife does all the paperwork, thank goodness, because that takes a ton of time.
You have to be a geek to be able to do that, right? I mean, there's no other explanation. You have to. You got to love it. You got to be into the stuff.
Well, we're either working on projects or we're fixing our equipment, and it's just perpetual.
All right, we'll take a break here. Back after the news with Ed Deed of Video View Production. I'm Al Roney, 810 WGY. Good news, an hour and a half into the show. And special guest co-host Ed Deet of a Video View Production has obtained coffee. Multi-million-dollar facility, and we finally got the man some coffee. We're exceptional hosts here. Ed's going out and getting fixed up with that. He'll be here in a second. But I want to give you a reminder of some of the things that Ed does. And one thing, we had him on the air a couple of weeks ago talking about these messages to the troops. And this is something they did at Siena College the last couple of Saturdays. Basically, you come in, they shoot a video of you, and they put it up on the Internet, just a unique link that only the soldier, airman, Marine, etc. has access to. He's extending that offer, so anybody who missed that ability or chance to get the message sent before Christmas can do that by just heading down to his studio at a Video View Production on 122 Saratoga Avenue in Waterford. Or you can give him a call, 235-8616, 235-8616. And I'll throw it up on my webpage later on in case people miss it too, so don't worry about that. And that'll be this Saturday between 1 and 5 if you want to give your own personal video to a troop member stationed anywhere in the world, not just Iraq, not just Afghanistan, but anywhere.
Yes.
You're going to open it up to them. So that's something that you do year-round. If somebody is interested in doing it outside of these special times that you've set up, they just need to call you and set up an appointment.
That's correct. And once again, they can also, if they want to shoot a videotape at home, or if they have their parents or grandparents or loved ones happen to be in a hospital, they can shoot a video there and then bring the video into us, and we'll put that up on the site for them.
And let's accentuate this. Free.
Absolutely free.
Absolutely free. No strings attached. You're not going to be sold on anything. You're not going to be harassed. It's free. It's
Absolutely.
something that you do for the troops and their families.
There's no contributions asked for, no donations.
That is fantastic. I mean, come on. I'm blown away by that. I think that's an awesome thing to do. Now, Ed is here today because he also made another outstanding contribution to WGY Christmas Wish, $1,000. But then you rolled in this morning and you said you had something else that you wanted to throw out there that might bring in some more money to the neediest children in the capital region. And how could I reject or refuse such an offer? What do you have in mind that the listener right now could be interested in?
Well, we have, as we were explaining earlier about video presentations and how they can be used for whether it's graduations, birthday parties, holidays, family gatherings. These video presentations are fantastic, and our package price is $169.95. What I want to do is throw that out to anyone who wants to donate, and we'll auction that off, and the money will go 100%. To your Christmas, WGY Christmas.
Okay, so anybody who's got tape, video, pictures, anything of family, any event, it could be anything that they want assembled by you, tied up nice, professionally edited, with music, all the transitions, everything, where you throw it in, all transferred to a DVD that you can put in any other player. You'll throw that package out for whatever we get as a high bid.
Right, and that would be our $169.95 package. That includes the first 50 photographs, a couple of custom titles. We put music on there for them. They'll get 2 DVDs of the project. We do special artwork into the surface of the DVDs. And we put them in custom gift boxes, and we also do the custom artwork on the front of the DVD boxes so that they present beautiful gifts. And we're going to give one of those packages away.
All right, that is awesome. So here's what I'm going to do. We'll take calls throughout this show. 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY cell phone. Basically, we're going to auction that off. So if you want that complete video package, just pick your number, okay, and give your name and phone number to Jesse, the call screener and producer of today's show. And he'll write you down, and whoever we have is coming in the highest on that, they'll get the package, and that's a direct donation to WGY Christmas Wish. You'll be helping out the neediest children in the Capital Region, which covers, there's so many organizations and that are out there locally. This is a stay-at-home kind of contribution that it's going to help out your neighbors' kids, friends, family, maybe your own family. I mean, the list is, I've got like a list of 10 pages throughout the Capital Region of all these people that donate their time and resources to help out kids, big brothers, big sisters, boys clubs, girls clubs. Those are some of the larger organizations, but tuition programs, tutoring programs. I mean, anything you can think of that helps out a kid, that's what WGY Christmas Wish goes to. So, Jesse, what you got to do, since we do this a bit on the fly, is take down the bid, whatever they want to throw up there. Of course, the chances of winning are greatly increased by the dollars bid. It's like eBay. If you lowball and walk away, you're probably not going to win. Somebody will snipe you at the end.
And like they say on eBay, a commercial is fun to win.
So if you want to, you'll get the complete package, video presentation, 2 DVDs, professionally done by Ed at a Video View Production, and whatever you want to do, family history, graduation, special event, holiday stuff. And obviously, it's going to be kind of tough to get it done before the holidays, but
yes.
You probably can't fit you in before Christmas. But not going to make any promises there, certainly. But I mean, what a keepsake! And then the great thing about it is all those old video cassettes or slides or whatever you have laying around in a box somewhere that are decaying, that have these memories on them, because basically, you, Ed, salvage memories.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
That's what you do. I mean, you save memories, because we put this stuff in a box, we forget about it, we go back to the tapes, we go back to the photographs, they're fading out, they're decaying, and if the film smells like vinegar, I learned that today, you've got a problem. So 1-800-TALK-WG, or 1-800-TALK-WG, yeah, I know the number. It's 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY. Want to call in, make we're already up to 75 right now. So it's got to be over 75 right now. You get the package, and this is the important thing, you're making a donation to WGY Christmas Wish, so that will go. You're making that contribution there, and you're getting something for it. So I appreciate that offer. We'll remind people as we go through here too, because there's a couple of other things I wanted to, quite a few things I wanted to talk about. One thing we should mention: you're not, in addition to your work, your at-home business that you do, you're also an instructor at Siena College. Are you a professor?
Well, an adjunct.
So that's like almost a professor? Do they call you Professor Deet?
No.
No.
Ed.
Ed. Go ahead.
Well, I had been asked to come on to Siena about 3 years ago. I think you know John Kelly. You may have met him.
Yes, I had a prior employment history, and
and
I did have a discussion or two with Kelly.
But by the way, he said
Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, he said
hi.
He said to say hi to you and wish you the best.
He said I'd never make it.
Is that right?
He said, get a new career. You're terrible, and you're, get something that's going to make money for you and your family. Get out of my office. And well, I'm still here. So what can I say? But yeah, Merry Christmas to John.
Oh, that's great.
I'm feeling the love.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess.
Anyway,
he had
moving past that uncomfortable moment.
Well, he had asked me to, being that he works at Siena and he does a lot of work there, as far as the director of the media department, to come in and try to get a club reestablished. The club had started many years ago. There was Ken Juby, I think you might know him. He works for Channel 9. When he was going to Siena, he had started a club, and of course, after he left, the club kind of fell apart. And in the meantime, John came on board, and he had asked me to come back and see if we can revive some life into the defunct club.
Was this for television production?
This was a television club for Siena to get the students involved. And so we got a club started up, and Ken Juby also has helped out. So we're both advisors to the television.
All right, we're at 200 now.
Wonderful.
Just to throw that in there. So we're at 200.
I'll tell you what, since we're 200.
Wait, hold on. Let's keep going for a minute.
Okay.
We'll keep it at 200.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that. Continue.
Okay, and so we got the club going pretty well, which was great. In the meantime, through the generosity of Mr. Joe Riley, once again, he's the president of New York State Broadcasters, he donated a fantastic
And he did
studio.
not tell me to get another career and quit my job or
Okay.
move on or anything. So
now,
I never met him anyway, personally. So
super nice guy. And once again, through his generosity, Siena College now has a wonderful television studio. And that being said, we have had a lot of activity in our club, a lot of students involved into television production. As a matter of fact, we even have a website set up for the television club.
Wait a minute, this is a club and you have your own studio? That's a pretty advanced club. I think club is like a little Dungeons and Dragons get together.
Oh, no, well, they also have broadcast journalism courses they offer, and this came about nearly at the same time. So this was a fantastic marriage of everything coming together between a club, broadcast journalism courses, a brand new television studio. They all converged this past year.
Excellent.
And they had also asked me to come on board to teach a television workshop, to show the students how television works, get into the production, so they now have a sense of live production, how it works, and if you want to, and of course we have a website, and the website was set up through the generous donation of my son-in-law, who is Shannon Russell, married to my daughter April, and he's a software engineer, and this is some of the work that he does. So
you have a family of geeks.
Yes.
You are geek-filled, right?
Yes,
You've got
we
it
are.
covered. If there's any kind of tech glitch, the Deets are called in.
Yeah, well, my daughter and her husband both are MIT graduates.
Oh,
So
there you
they
go.
are
I mean,
from the
I
geek
can't
school
even
of
get in the
world.
same room. The thought waves alone are pushing me out the door.
So they set up a real fun site for the students. So the students now have a fantastic website called sienatv.org. And if anyone wants to get on there and just see what the students do, we have a lot of videos on there.
I checked it out. Yeah.
And you'll see one
Very
of them
cool.
is our new broadcast, one of our first broadcasts, and then within that structure, you're going to see behind the scenes. So you'll actually see behind the scenes of one of the first broadcasts that we had done through our new studio, and the fun that the students are having, the ambition, the enthusiasm. So it's and I'm getting. Sometimes I think I get more out of it than they do. It's really a fantastic.
Well, one of the things about this field, radio or television, that's so key. This isn't something that you can really roll into a classroom, crack open a book, and get. You have to do. This is a do kind of medium, whether it's shooting the video, whether it's on camera, off camera, behind the scenes. It's not like you can crack open your book to page 5 and read the book and then answer a question on a test and know that you're going to be able to apply that in the real world. So what you're doing there with the video club and having people the opportunity to actually do it is huge. That's going to give them more real knowledge and experience than any book they're going to be able to open up.
Also, yes, you're right, and it's a lot of fun. And this is why even in the class that I hold a class right in the studio, not in a classroom setting. This way they get less intimidated by being surrounded by a lot of high-tech equipment. They get a chance to try out the cameras and try out the switchers and all the computer systems and how to edit. Teleprompter, how to get their stories in, and it's really fascinating. And the students have tremendously enjoyed it, and so there's been a lot of activity.
You're a busy guy then.
Yes,
but it's a nice kind of busy.
Couldn't ask for better.
All right, let me break off here. Now Ed is offering a complete video package. He'll take all your stuff. Photos, video, everything. He'll put it in a nice, neat package, DVD, professionally edited, music, transitions, labeling, all that. You've got that covered. The highest bid that we get for that, it's usually about 170, 169 that would cost. You're going to give that to that person who comes in with the highest bid for WGY Christmas Wish. Right now we're at 200. And we're counting. So if you still want to get a bid in on that, 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY. Just give your name and number to Jesse, who's the fill-in producer, call screener this week. We'll take a break here. Be back with Ed Diet of A Video View Production. I'm Al Roney, 810 WGY. All right, back with Ed Diet of A Video View Production, company based out of Waterford. He is the man, owner, and operator of A Video View Production. You do video photo presentations for companies, organizations, and individuals. Also do a great thing for troops and their families by offering free videotaping, editing, and setting it up on a web page so they can have access to that. And you're doing that Saturday again for people who may have missed it the last couple of Saturdays from 1 to 5. Give your own personal video, and this includes any video that you shot outside of it. You know, if you a family member who can't make it or something like that, and they want to send a message to anybody anywhere in the world who's in the military, you can make that happen. You'll hook that up for them absolutely free.
That's correct.
In addition to that, Ed, who is here today because he donated $1,000 to WGY Christmas Wish, he offered a complete video production package, usually about $169.95.
All right.
Is that it? Is that it right there? The old, to the highest bidder, you'll get the package, and your money will go directly to WGY Christmas Wish. Thank you, Ed. I really appreciate it. I mean, you're a local guy, local businessman, doing well and giving back to the community. What's better than that?
That's as good as it gets. It really is.
You know,
and, I think everybody should try to do their part. I guess it's part of the concept to pay forward. If you do well, you try to go forward and do what you can. And I think if everybody did that, we would have a better place to live.
You know what? It sounds so utopian and positive, but it's absolutely true. I've seen it over and over again. As soon as people get rally behind something, we get it done. We accomplish great things. So I got a lot of cynicism inside me. I admit, but there is that other side that is eternally optimistic at the same time, because I don't think you can be a true cynic without a level of optimism there, else you would just implode. Is that a little deep? Is that a little deep? This is what I tell myself before I lay down at night, before I take a nice nap. There's more I want to get to, because you've had brushes with fame yourself, local celebrities, and including the uber geek of all geeks. No, not Bill Gates, not Steve Jobs, but George Lucas. So kind of a less than 6 degree separation with the man who created Star Wars and basically, in a sense, took over our lives, because who doesn't know who Luke Skywalker is? My dog is named after Luke Skywalker, but that was my son's idea. Oh, yeah, my dog. I don't know. I don't want to go on a tangent here, but you want to talk about a nightmare? Yesterday, I let my dog out. He's got one of these electric fence things. It doesn't shock him. He doesn't go near it. Come on, it's not abuse. Ed, this is radio. They can't see you doing the mock electrocution over there. He's acting out the shock. No, it happened like one time. He gets a little zzz, and then he doesn't go near it ever again. It works well.
Coming up, traffic and weather together. More Al and Ed. WGY News Time is 11:04.
Ed Deed is with me this morning, and he is the owner and operator of a Video View production in Waterford, and he's here today because he fired off a $1,000 donation when we had our mini radiothon about a month or so ago, and he called up, and I basically threw it out there. Hey, anybody who throws down $1,000 to get on the show and co-host the show with me, and Ed jumped right on that, got in. In addition to that, you've offered a complete video package. Somebody brings in their pictures, their old video, their 16 millimeter, 8 millimeter film, anything, that stuff you've got sitting in the closet that's decaying that you want to assemble into a nice family presentation, graduation, anything like that. He does that kind of stuff, does a great job with it. He could take almost anything that you can think of and turn it into a nice couple of DVDs for you. And you offered, and we received some bids on it, to one of these packages that I think are priced right, $169.95 to the highest bidder, taking that money, throwing it over to WGY Christmas Wish, and in exchange giving the person who makes that donation the package. So we had somebody with $200 call in for that. And anything else you'd like to do, Ed? I mean, as if that's not, oh, in addition to that, before I forget, Ed also does this. He did this over the past couple of Saturdays at Siena College, where he's an adjunct professor there in their TV production club. Open it up for people to come in and send video messages to the troops that are overseas or anywhere, anybody in the military, anywhere in the world, where you could send a message to a loved one, family member, friend, relative. And we had a bit of spotty weather in the one Saturday, so that kind of put a bit of a damper on it. But you're going to open that up again this Saturday. So anybody who wants to send a message to a loved one who's in the military can stop by between 1 and 5 at your studio, a Video View production, 122 Saratoga Avenue, and get that done.
Yes, and given an opportunity, I don't want to forget to thank Siena College for letting us use the television studio, and also Norm Quam there. He gave the refreshments, very generous. There was a lot of people involved that were most gracious and letting us have this program at Siena College that helped to make it a success. So there was a lot of people involved, and I wanted to take this time to make sure that I do thank them properly.
Absolutely. And this is also something that is absolutely free. You don't have to pay any money. Ed does this. It's just his way of helping out the troops and the families in the military. And in addition to that, it's something you do year-round. Now, if somebody misses that window 1 to 5 on Saturday and still wants to do that any time of the year, they just have to call you and make an appointment. And that'd be 235-8616. If you have any questions for Ed about video production, because this guy is an admitted geek, just like I'm a moderate, I'm like not at the geekitude level that you're at, because I just don't have the knowledge and ability that you have when it comes to this. But if you have any questions, one thing that we did, a couple of things we want to get through before the end of the hour. Your brush with the uber geek George Lucas, your connection there. Your son's connection with some high-profile media figures, and an actor, a local actor who has come to you for some work. But in addition to that, because it being the holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, and everything else that's going on this time of year, this is when we break out our cameras, we break out our video cameras, and we want to get the best. We want to capture that. And most of us are not Steven Spielberg or Stanley Kubrick. We fall way short of that. But you may be able to offer us some help here on how we can best shoot the photographs, the video, and make that work for ourselves at home.
Yes.
As far as some tips.
Oh, sure. Well, one of the things many times we have people coming in and giving us their videos. They want us to do some work with them. And unfortunately, a lot of the videos that we see have the same problem. And that is, it's from a camera operator standpoint, just typical problems that occur, and if you can get over those problems, you'll increase your value of your tapes tremendously. Let me just run down a couple of points to keep in mind. First of all, we see people many times shoot into the light. They think if they turn on a room light and stand in front of the light, that it's going to help. It does just the opposite. It hurts. The camera's looking at the light, it squints down, and then that person becomes nothing but a silhouette. What you want is the light to fall on the person that you're taping. So that's very important. The next thing is
yeah, lighting's. I mean, if you've ever been on TV or had any kind of background in that, the one thing that I think that really stands out is when you're being shot, that light is just intense and it's right on you.
Yes.
It's like sitting under the sun. It doesn't come across on video. You don't notice how much lighting is entailed behind the scenes when you're watching it on television or on film. But there's an incredible amount of light used to get the right look.
Right, but people don't have to use that much light with their video cameras. But the concept is make sure you have lighting on the subject's face. Try to keep your camera relatively close as far as your shot. Don't have your shot so that you're across the room and the people are little tiny objects. We see that so often where they try to get the whole room and the person is only one little object within a very large room. Get the camera closer. Don't just zoom in. Get the camera closer. You're going to find by actually having the camera closer, you're going to widen the shot and you're going to find that the shot becomes steadier because you're not into a zoom fashion of your camera, which is like trying to hold binoculars and look at the moon. You can't because you can see your heartbeat, for crying out loud, because you're just trying to magnify too much.
So move yourself closer with the camera instead of trying to stand back, really far and zoom in.
Right, and the other thing it'll help to improve tremendously is going to be your audio, which a lot of times people forget. They think of shooting video as just video, and they forget about the audio till they come in and say, gosh, I don't have any sound. Well, they have sound, but it's so low you can't hear it. And one way you can overcome that, get the camera closer to the subject matter. So now you're going to have a steadier shot, you're going to have a better lit shot, you're going to have a shot that you can see your subject matter. So everything improves. Now, one of the other items, especially for people with children and animals, is get your camera down to the level of the smaller object that you're trying to shoot, whether it's the little kitty or the little doggy or your children. Get it down to their eye level instead of standing in an upright position shooting down at them, because that really demeans their what they look like on screen. So by getting it down to that level, you're going to notice that your videos are going to look radically different than you're used to ever seeing your videos look, and they're going to look incredibly better. You're going to notice that all of a sudden they look more professional.
So get down on your knees right to where their head's at.
Well, typically you don't even have to get on your knees. This is why the manufacturers always make the screens that tip.
Okay.
So you can hold it low, tip the screen up, you look straight down at your screen. As a matter of fact, a lot of the old cameras used to be made so that you held them at your stomach level and looked down at them. So that you can always see to it that you're shooting at a lower level.
I used to do that with my son, especially when he was first walking I don't know when it was, it's all a blur now, but whatever it was when he was walking, and I would do that. I would hold the camera down like waist level, flip the screen up, and just kind of follow him around that way, and it looked like you were getting a shot of him, actually, as opposed to some giant looking down upon him.
Right, and the other thing is, of course, people have zooms, and the typical creation of our videos is use a zoom because we have it. Nothing could be farther than the truth. Don't use your zoom. Only use the zoom to establish your shot, then shoot it at that point. But don't zoom in and out, in and out. That's what they call moto zooming. That will make that'll make.
Oh, they're a moto zoomer. Yeah. Look at this thing.
And of course, the other one is fire hosing, and that is, I'm not sure what I want to shoot, so I'm just going to keep swinging around my camera until I find a subject matter that looks good, and then I'm going to moto zoom on it.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking even some of the stuff that I've shot, and you learn this when you throw it up on the, after you've shot your video and you plug it up into the TV or wherever to look at this stuff. The next thing you know, people are reeling and retching on the couch because you've induced nausea and vomiting because it's like you're on a roller coaster. People are like, keep it steady. Don't be playing.
Right.
Don't play around with it.
And look up from your camera and take a look around as you're shooting, keeping your camera on that subject. And if you find something interesting, then purposefully move your camera. And you're going to notice that that shot will look like it was planned as opposed to you're searching. because you don't want to search. And as far as composition, always try to follow the standard rule of thirds, keeping the eyes at the 1/3 down from the top of the screen. And that will always compose your picture pretty close to where it should be.
The rule of thirds.
Yes, there's a large number of rules, but one of the basics.
So you follow those. Don't light the camera, light the subject. Keep the light on the subject. Keep it down to the level of the subject you're shooting, and don't use the zoom unless you absolutely have to. And the rule of thirds. Keep it, keep the eyes in the third portion of the picture. So do those 4 things, and you're going to get a better presentation when you roll back and say, hey, I want to see what that Christmas Day looked at.
Sure, and then when you come in with that videotape, I can take a look at it and say, wow, we have a lot of great footage here to select from, and we can put together a fantastic video.
Excellent tips. Ed, let's take a break here. Oh, I want to remind people, though, you've got the package that you're offering, though, to take personal projects, assemble them in a nice, neat DVD package. Any media that you can think of, whether it's photographs, old slides, anything. You want to jump in? Anything? Is there anything that you can't convert? I mean, is there any medium out there, video or photography, that you have trouble that you just can't deal with?
Well, of course, glass plates of the old photographs, we can't do anything with them. We've had people come in with
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the old beta tapes, we don't have any equipment for beta tapes, or laser discs. We don't have equipment for that.
But there wasn't a big market for laser disc
A very small
cameras.
window. Oh, no, not laser. No, not.
I don't remember shoving an album into my camcorder. That would have been some sight. But as far as transferring those kind of things, it's just not there.
No, we don't have the equipment for that.
So the people who bought into that, thinking that they were on the cutting of technology, made a wrong move.
Pretty much. But if they still have a laser disc unit that works, and they have laser discs that they need to convert, then bring the 2 of them in, and we'll integrate it into our equipment, and I'm sure we can extract the information.
And you can make that into DVD.
Right.
What about the high? You know what? I'm gonna have to take a break here, but that did just bring up another question of mine, and we'll get to some of your brushes with fame. How about that?
Okay.
All right, talking with Ed Deaton. If you still want to make a bid in for the auction we got going, complete video package, he'll take in all that stuff, make it a nice, neat, professionally edited music, labeling, 2 DVDs. Your donation will go directly to WGY Christmas Wish, and Ed will do that for you. Thanks to Ed for offering that. I appreciate that. I'll take a quick break here. Be right back. I'm Al Roney, 810 WGY. We're just geeking out here. Yep, Ed Deaton and I, guilty of the same thing when we watch films, along with our wives. When we watch a movie, we actually look at. Did you see what the director just did? Did you see that? How they did that? What are you talking about? Shut up! I'm trying to watch the movie. So you get the same thing with your wife, huh? She's like, can you just enjoy it? Can you just stop being geeked up about what the director or what the cinematographer is doing there?
Unfortunately, I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, I know. I am too. I wanted to also open up phone calls, questions to Ed, because this guy's a video expert about any kind of production, editing, anything like that. If you have a question for Ed, give me a call, 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY cell phone. And we do have Henry on a cell phone right now. Hi, Henry. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Okay.
I have a 16-millimeter, 45-minute sound film that I use in teaching, and it's getting real brittle. Can you do that, or is it going to cost me an arm and 2 legs? Or?
Oh, we might
just an arm.
Yes, we can do that. Not a problem.
So how do we get the hold of you? Can you you have an email or something? Or
yes, you can either use the email, which is eddeet at video.
How do you spell that? How do you spell Deet?
EDDEET.
DEET. Okay.
Yes, at videoviewproductions.com.
Okay.
Or you can call after the show, and we can set up a time for you.
Okay. Very good.
235-86. Does it smell like vinegar, though?
Because I'm in my car, so I can't write down. Write it down.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Listen,
maybe you can put them on your WGY website. I'm
gonna put them up on my webpage later on.
That'd be great. That way we can get the contact information off the website.
I'll do that. Okay. And, one question for you though: does your film smell like vinegar?
I don't know. I heard that comment earlier. Yeah. It's Encyclopedia Britannica Films. I use it in my class, and you know, they don't. I'm an RPI professor. They don't even They don't use 16 millimeter anymore.
No, that's old.
I'm in trouble.
That's old stuff, Henry. You got to wake up and smell the technology.
Oh, I know. It's a great film, you know.
Well, someone called me about you just last week.
What?
Someone called me.
Is that right? I think, yeah.
A young girl.
I think I asked her to check around and see who did that. So I know who called you.
This is the man. Now, one thing that I don't think there's, like we were talking before, I don't think there's much that you can't do with that kind of thing. But that's the stuff you specialize in.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have something, and I think this is, whether it's business. I mean, you use this in your teaching, whether it's personal use. We've got this stuff laying around. This archival footage of memories. I said, you save memories, Ed. I'm not blowing that out of proportion. I think that's what you do, and that's what this technology brings us. But if we don't get it restored, it's gone.
What happens is you lose the equipment. You said some of the Betamax, you don't have that anymore.
No.
If you wait too long, you are in trouble.
Yeah. Yep. And that's how it is with my 8mm tapes that I was using to shoot all my kids' videos.
I have those too.
Yep, he does that. So you're hooked up, Henry. Give him a call. And you're an RPI professor. I don't think you'll have any problem whatsoever affording it. Okay?
You'll be. I get my department chairman to pay.
There you go. Business expense and tax write-off. All right, more questions for Ed, and I got to get to the Uber Geek story about George Lucas, okay? We have to hit that before we're through. We'll be back with Ed Diet. I'm Al Roney, 810 WGY. And my co-host today, Ed Diet with a Video View Productions in Waterford. Got a couple of questions for you on the line here, Ed. We'll get to those in just a second, but during the break you said, listen, we rolled out you rolled this out. I didn't have anything to do with this, but the reason you're here today is because of your $1,000 donation to WGY Christmas Wish. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, the stuff you do for the troops and their families and setting up these video messages of love to do that, which you'll be doing again tomorrow, or Saturday, excuse me, a day after tomorrow, Saturday, at your studio at Video View Productions in Waterford, New York. And let me see, 122 Saratoga Avenue. That's it. Between 1 and 5, anybody wants to stop by and send a message to any troop member stationed anywhere in the world, they'll be able to do that. No appointment necessary. Just drop by between 1 and 5 at 122 Saratoga Avenue. You do this year-round, but it's by appointment otherwise, outside of this.
Yes, yes.
And if they want to give you a call at other times. But this is something that you do absolutely free. Doesn't cost anybody a dime. You'll put the link on a website so the service member can go there and just click on it and get the message from their family member, friend, relatives. Right. So great thing. Now we let the one you said, all right, we'll let that you offered a video package where you'll take somebody's film, pictures, whatever medium that they have of an event or just family stuff. Even I assume you could even do business stuff too if somebody has something they want to share with their associates or something, anything like that, any kind of event that you'll put together for them, put it on DVD, edit it, put some audio on it, whatever needs to be done, freshen it up. You offered one of those packages to the highest bidder, with the money going directly to WGY Christmas Wish, and we got a high bid of what was it, 200? We got 200, right?
200.
200. That you're saying that's okay? You want to? What else do you want to do?
Well,
as if that's not enough. This guy's got more.
Well, I would like to give another package away.
Okay.
Okay, and once again, highest bidder, and once again, the package being on the most part is the first 50 photos with titles, music. They can interject some video if they wish. There's also two DVDs. We do custom artwork on the DVD, custom boxes that we put it in with the custom artwork, full color art on it. So it packages beautifully. It's complete.
So the highest bid we get on that, we'll get that.
Yes.
And their money is going to go not to you, but to WGY Christmas Wish.
That's correct, 100%.
So let me get that out there because we don't have a lot of time. We only got about 25 minutes left. So if you wait on this, you're going to get left in the dust. So just call 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY cell phone, make a bid. Just leave your name and number. That's all we need, your bid, your name and number. And if you win, and the kids win. So we all win, basically. So 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY cell phone if you want to. It's kind of an auction. We're auctioning that video package off, and it's all for a great charity that we do here every year, WGY Christmas Wish. So 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY cell phone. And may I suggest, this would be a spectacular gift, too. Although you're not going to say that you're going to be able to get it done in time for Christmas.
Oh, no.
Kind of tight. But, I mean, imagine just being able to say, hey, honey, or somebody say, listen, I'm going to give you this so you can get this, all your, that the baby's birth, the whatever it is.
Oh, we do it for several occasions.
I mean, any occasion. Man, I'm smelling Christmas gift on this thing.
We do a lot for Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduations, birthdays, holidays, family get-togethers. This is our season between Thanksgiving and Christmas is incredibly difficult for us to get all the projects out. So, as you mentioned yourself, it's not something that's going to be a reality for Christmas at this point.
But it could be a promissory note, if you will, that, hey, you're going to get a good gift later on.
Sure. We've even had people do this type of presentations for finding a way to propose.
Excellent. Listen, I thank you off the air and on the air. Thank you again, Ed, because you're a local business guy, successful, doing well, and you're giving back to the community. And what more could we want than that?
Well, it's my pleasure.
I appreciate it.
I've been very, very fortunate.
All right, so if you want to get in on the bid, we'll take it until we're done with the show. End of the show, then we're going to cut it off. Whoever's got the highest bid by the end of the show, they get it. And that's it. 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY cell phone. Also, if you have a question for Ed about the field of this very geek-filled field, before we go uber geek, about shooting video, editing video, and what kind of things he can do for you, we'll take those calls too. So if you have a question or you want to make a bid or ask a question of Ed before we're through, we'll do that too. All right, and we've got Dan holding on the line for some time to have wants to get a crack at you, Ed. Dan, you're up. You're in Albany. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Ed, I have a question, and I think I know the answer to, but they say in a computer you never lose any information from a hard drive. I know some moron who taped over his wedding video. That's gone forever, correct?
Well, unless you can grab your video camera, you jump in your time machine, go back and do it all over again. There's no other way, unfortunately. We had a call yesterday. Same thing happened. This lady was in tears. I wish there was something.
Yeah, I'm good at stuff like this. I thought that was the answer, but thank you for the question.
You know what? The best thing I can suggest is for the future, take all the tabs out of all your videotapes, go through your library, knock the tabs out.
Yep. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Dan, are they still married?
Yeah, we're married. I can't find my wedding ring or my finger, but we're married.
Wait, it was you taped over your video?
Yeah, I told you that. You already know that.
I didn't know. I forgot about it.
All right.
Dan.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Dan.
Bye.
Oh, Dan.
Oh, that's terrible.
Dan. Oh, man. Let's use the three words, and I learned this the hard way too, and I had a computer meltdown, and luckily the guys at Libertex were able to hook me back up and save my stuff for me. Mm-hmm. Backup.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's one of the things that you could do, because the person will still get to keep their original source of that information, and they'll have it on a new medium.
Sure.
So even if maybe you don't need to get it all tied up in a bow, you can help them out with that kind of thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. Any of the old information you have, photographs, they might still be around another 20 years or 30 years, but to back up, you're right, Al. You have to back up your important equipment, your photographs, your slides. It's very important to do this, if in fact it's important to you to keep them. And that's one of the best things you can do.
Well, certainly wedding and birth of a child and graduations. This is stuff you don't want to lose. I mean, I remember when my computer crashed and I had all my pictures in there. See, I got burned once. I got lucky because I saved the stuff. But my wife, that look, I don't want to ever see that look again. Wait a minute, all our pictures about that. Yeah, don't worry, I'll get them back. I'll get them.
Al, I hate to tell you this, but the same thing happened just recently to my wife. She had a lot of photographs on the computer. Unfortunately, the computers don't always tell you they're going to crash.
No, they don't give you the heads up, do they?
And the hard drive crashed, and there was a lot of photographs she didn't get a chance to, although she did a lot of them, but she didn't have them all. And she lost them, and we tried desperately to get them back. Many times you can get them back. We ended up sending the drive out. It was, if they were going to be successful, the price starts at $1,500.
Yeah, you save yourself a lot of time, a lot of grief by just making duplicates. As soon as you throw them on out of that computer or wherever, you got the tape sitting in the camcorder, get it out of there, get it duplicated, and then you can, put the stuff, you could put that stuff in the box, hide it in the closet in case you lose your master copy or something like that.
And we tell people the same thing with their films. When they come in with their movie films and we transfer them, they say, oh, well, now we can throw these out. And I tell people, please don't throw those out. What you want to do is put them away in a safe place. So if anything happens to these discs, or who knows, maybe the technology is such later on that we'll be reverting back to the film. You never know what the technology is going to be in 20 years, 30 years down the road. But just hang on to them. You might lose the discs. You might have to come back to put them back onto a disc again. So always save your originals.
All right, let's get another call here, and we got to get to the Lucas stuff. Wait, he's gone. All right, well, we'll hold off on that. So you had an experience where somebody brought in some stuff that wanted converted, saved, or transferred to another medium, and tell me about that. We were talking about this off the air.
Well, this director moved into this area, and I didn't know he was a director, of course, and he gave me his name, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind me telling the people his name. That's Paul Golding. He made a movie back in 1988 called Pulse.
Okay.
And I didn't know him from Adam, so he calls up and says he's George Lucas's friend. And of course you say, well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
And I got some films. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
So he comes in, and sure as heck, he was a classmate with George Lucas at the University of Southern California. And him and George had made student films and documentaries together.
So he was a classmate of George Lucas, of course, the creator of Star Wars.
Exactly.
And if you don't know that, you're not a true geek, or you just haven't been living in the 21st century for very long.
And so, of course, he comes in with these big canisters. We transfer them over, and sure as heck, there's George Lucas and of course, this Paul Golding, and they had made several films together, and some of them were documentaries. And with the documentaries, there's George Lucas with his first 16-millimeter film. As a matter of fact, I brought this.
So you don't believe this guy? You're like, okay, come on in,
Yes.
bring me the stuff, and he's actually got cans of film that he shot with George Lucas.
Yes, and not only that, but since of course I instruct over at Siena College, I brought this in for the students to see, because I told them this, and of course they couldn't believe it. I brought it in, I showed it to them, they just could not believe it. No one's ever seen these. These have never been released.
Yeah, this is stuff.
This is a private collection.
Yeah, this isn't the stuff that's been cropping up on his DVD re-releases either. These are his early, very early
Personal
first film projects, of almost home movies of him. What kind of stuff was it? What kind of...
They were documentaries, and a part of the documentaries, and I never realized all these people were classmates. And there was Robert Redford, Dustin Hoffman, Peter Fonda, Roman Polanski, Sharon Tate. There was even Frank Ford Coppola there.
All in these videos.
All in these videos, and they had gone to school together at the once again University of Southern California. And they're all part of this. One of the films was a documentary that they had put together, expressing the so-called establishment. I don't know if you're old enough to remember the terminology, the establishment.
No, listen, I actually cracked open a few books too.
Okay. And
down with the man.
Pretty
Go
much.
to the streets.
Yeah.
Take over.
So it's funny because they
Peace.
said how they want to change the values and the way that the establishment runs. And
Well, they're hippies. Right?
Pretty much,
for the most part. I mean, part of that generation, and a lot of George Lucas's early stuff was very serious and intense film. He was a very serious guy before. He's known for Star Wars now, which is kind of considered light and fluffy, but he wanted to be a very serious, groundbreaking, issues-oriented filmmaker. And his first film, THX 1138, was about a society that was basically where people were taking prescribed medications by the government, and they were all bald and wearing the same suit. So, I mean, it was really one of those, this is the path we're heading down. The future is coming, and it's bleak. So that was the mindset, and that's where Lucas's head was at. So you're seeing some of these films with all these other major players, and that's what it's about, huh?
Yes, and the documentaries were interviewing these people, and it was interesting to see all the stars that we have now come to know and love that are older, to see them when they started. And of course, this, once again, the most interesting part is the fact that these are the original film. This man has the films that no one else has.
Yeah.
And here I'm making copies, and not only copies, but creating an image for DVDs. And eventually, hopefully he's going to release these, but he was going to send a copy to George Lucas as a gift.
Now, what did you say? I got to make me my own copy here.
Of course.
You do that? That's okay?
Oh, yeah, I have to do that anyway, because if the person ends up losing it in transit, then I can end up making a backup for him.
Okay, so you still have your own copies of this stuff.
Yes.
But now, of course, you can't go and sell it.
No.
Then they're gonna come and take you out in cuffs, and George Lucas will be mad at you.
Oh, pretty much, yeah.
Because you don't know if he wants that out there yet. He's a very controlling guy.
Well, he'll probably beat me with a camera, sure.
Great stuff. All right, let me take a break. I know there's a couple of more questions, but remember, if you want to get in on that video package, that's going to be, the donation's going to go to WGY Christmas Wish. Still got a few minutes to get in on that. 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY cell phone. Highest bidder will get that complete video package from Ed Deet, the owner-operator of Video View Production. Be right back. I'm Al Runny, 810 WGY. Only a couple minutes left with Ed Deet. I really appreciated you being here. I've learned a lot, and I thought I was a super geek, though, but a video production, and I don't think I'm overstating it when your job, you preserve memories. You take what people have in different medium, pictures, video, film, you put it together, you save it for them, and that's what you've got. The technology is cool, and we were saying this off the air. We love it. Get all geeked up about it. Wow, that's cool. Look at that editing. Look at those special effects. But in the long run, that's what you're doing here. That's what you're taking that shoebox filled with pictures or old video, and the stuff's decaying, and you're putting it on a modern medium where we can throw it onto the TV and watch it whenever we want. It's a great thing. I appreciate it. And right now, Ed, we are at $250 a piece for those two video packages you offered for donations going to WGY Christmas Wish. So we've got about 2 or 3 minutes left. It's not too late to make a bid. The two highest bidders will get those two packages. So you'll be all set up on that. 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY cell phone. Preserve those memories and help out the kids in the capital region. Perfect marriage. Let me get to try to squeeze in Jason. He's been waiting a while. He's got a question for you. Jason, you're up.
Yeah, I got a question. I've got a Canon XL2 digital video camera, and I'm wondering what kind of program you recommend to edit the video. I do home videos, just small time. I would call myself an amateur. What kind of program would you recommend for my computer?
Well, first of all, your computer really should be configured to ingest video properly, and most people make the biggest mistake of putting video on their C drive, and that's gonna crash your computer system. Get it configured. I'll tell you what, if you want to give me a call off air, I'd be glad to go over the specs with you so that you get it set up right and get the right programming in for you.
So in other words, Jason, it's a long answer, or a longer answer than a couple of minutes will allow to get you hooked up, because that's another cool thing that's going on. You got the DIY approach to, people are shooting their own video, editing it, and working with it. Of course, we're not always as good as you are at it, and a lot of people are out of the loop, but the technology's there for you.
It is, but one of the biggest problems is they sell the software packages, and the software packages promise you a lot, and one of the biggest problems is you not only shoot your video, but you shoot yourself in the foot by ruining your computer many times trying to ingest video, and video is extremely demanding on a computer system, so you really so much have to get that configured right, and I would strongly suggest you to do that first, really.
All right, you were telling me off the air, too, that you don't use your regular type, PCs back at your shop. You've got special stuff designed just for video and audio editing. You can't just go to the big box store, pick your thing up, and be Ed Deet.
We could do a whole show just on how to configure your system.
Ed, you know what? I really enjoyed you being here. You're a great guy. I appreciate it. Best of luck to you, and I'll put up the information on the website. And we're done with the we'll go to noon on the auction. How about that? Any last minute callers? 1-800-TALK-WGY, star WGY. Thanks, Ed.
Thanks so much, Al.
All right, I'm Al Roney, 810 WGY.